Hello.
Hello.
So tonight's topic is dealing with clients professionally.
Mm, Alrighty then. You still with us, Chris? Uh-oh.
Chris is in the car, so she may have
Right.
hit a bit of a snag.
Hello, Aaron. All right. Well, stay cool, stay calm, stay collected. And when you can't be cool, calm, and collected, kick him out.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Um, that's the thing. Is when you can call it when you need to call it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, and I've had a customer that I have actually had to. The dog was fine. The owner was not.
Mm-hmm.
And we did our best to accommodate her, but she couldn't be accommodated. She
Right.
wanted,
And it wouldn't have mattered if you'd have done everything to the letter. There would have been something that you had not done correctly.
yeah,
Sometimes you just get clients like that. Yeah, I've had to criminally trespass a client from my lobby,
holy,
and I think that has to be probably maybe the second time I've ever had to do that in my entire career. The
never,
first time, a nail trim owner, he was a big truck driver, took his meaty big hand and he smacked his dog across the face because she was really nervous and wouldn't get her nails done. And I refunded him and I said, I have your information. I'll be calling. Expect a visit from animal control. And then this last time, it was at the salon that I'm semi working out of now. Um, Erin Shank, she does kitty grooms out of there. And she had done a shave down on a cat, left boots, of course. And then the cat was done. You know, the cat said, okay, we're done now. No longer will I be on your table and be friendly. So she boxed him up, called the guy, and I guess he lost his mind and said she did a terrible groom. She didn't, what did he say? Didn't blend the boots, didn't trim the whiskers, didn't do this, didn't do that, blah, blah. Meanwhile, the cat has these saucers. I wasn't even there. She said, sir, you're going to have to talk to my manager. She'll be in tomorrow. And then I asked him to bring in the cat because I want to, I expected this choppy job, even though I know Erin is the utmost professional. She's a very, very good groomer. She knows what she's doing. And, but I had to at least see the cat,
yeah,
what is happening here. And he brought the cat in, and the cat looked great, smelled good, was well bathed, well cleaned, was freaked out. But yeah, I can see where the boots didn't get blended and this and that, and just little details. But the clipper work itself was chef's kiss. Um, but he then went on to try to intimidate me and stand over me and get all, like get all up in your face saying, "Oh, you're going to have to refund my money. You're going to have to refund my money." I'm like, "I'm sorry, sir. The services were provided, and I don't see here where the cat is not done. Like this is crappy. I could have done better myself." And I was thinking to myself, why didn't you then? Why didn't you? And I said, well, she let us know that the cat was done after she had gotten to this point, that it was just safer to stop. Oh, now you're letting the cat tell you when to stop the grooming.
yes,
And I was like, absolutely. He's like, this is a farce. Call the authorities. He fully expected the police to come and make me give him his money back.
that's
So
not how this works.
it is not how this works.
That's not how any of this works.
No. So, right, Mercedes. But they finally came in and, I had to make him go step outside. And I said, thank you so much. And he goes, you're not welcome. I was like, oh my gosh. He was just horrible. He was a horrible person. And he was standing outside waiting, trying to tell all the clients. It's during COVID. Waiting for all the client, talking to the clients. And they were just like, you're crazy. These people are fantastic. Get away from me. And the police came in after talking to him, and I guess he tried to strong arm them too. And they said, ma'am, do you want us to criminally trespass him? Because we can criminally trespass him. if you want. It's called criminal trespass. And if you ask for it, then we can criminally trespass him and he can never come back. And it's like, oh, I got it. I would like to criminally trespass him, please.
Yes. How to say what you, so I'm suggesting, but without saying I'm suggesting. So, did you want him criminally trespassed?
He was acting like he
Was-
might have done something terrible. Like he was really being, without touching us, he was kind of assaulty. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
kind of really
You're
terrible.
in your space and that kind of thing, which is why I recommend. I actually have a class, a personal safety class,
Mm-hmm.
where I recommend a counter of at least a 1 foot width, so that when you're speaking to clients, you're behind the counter.
Mm-hmm.
No one can loom over you
Mm-hmm.
with when that's there.
Mm-hmm.
So, because there's a 1 foot counter there, and then there's the desk behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 3 feet of space. You can't loom over me from 3 feet away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a different setup now than we did before. But yeah, he ended up writing a horrifying Google review for us. But what's funny is that, you know what? People worry about those Yelp reviews and Google reviews. I ignore them completely, and it doesn't do me any harm. It means nothing. The people who would give you a bad review on Google are the ones that read those reviews. But he left what he thought was a scathing Google review. And I always find that when you let them just vent, they tell on themselves.
Yeah, they
And
do.
he just proceeded to tell on himself and all the bad things that he did. And we actually did have clients come in and say, oh, I read that. He was horrible. I'm so glad you got away from him. And I'm like, well, yeah, drive off in your Escalade. Go away. Go away. So,
By the way, can you hear me? Am I here?
yes, ma'am.
Woo!
Yes.
I wonder if, and Angie can tell us this from a law enforcement perspective, I wonder if a proper response to that review was, thank you for putting this all in writing. I have forwarded this to local police department to add to the criminal trespass, and I will ask them if we should add assault charges or slander charges or whatever.
Okay.
I think he would have had to have marked me before I could really file any assault.
Assault isn't necessarily just yelling at someone. That's not assault. Assault is essentially putting someone in fear of their personal safety. And battery is when you put your hand
touch them. Yeah.
Yes.
Touchy.
So since you were in
the thing
fear
is,
of your safety,
you want to be really careful when dealing with somebody like that. If you have them say criminally trespassed, and then you're throwing, insinuations that there was an assault, you could be liable, because it's written, it's typed. So it's not slander. Slander is verbal, libel is written.
but
you could be libeling him because assault charges were not pressed. That did not occur. You're better off just leaving that one alone.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I just needed it to stop so I could continue our business. He just needed to get out.
But wasn't he libeling her?
Yes. Yes, he was, but I don't care. It doesn't matter because none of that's provable. It's just somebody being nasty. And really, I didn't even think for a second. The worst review I got before that, I was called Captain Bligh. That's a whole nother story. It was a beautiful story. Oh, yeah. You want me to tell that story too?
Oh, yeah. No, we need to hear this. Now I'm invested.
Oh, here we go.
You kind of have to now.
I was just freshly attached to this salon before the current owner. And my my job, basically, I was hired to be a consultant and make sure that that salon didn't close its doors. And now it is an ultra high-end salon, and I love it. We got it done. However, at the time, they had a bunch of clients coming in, and they were just totally undercharging them $30 for a corgi bath. Like it was just, 1971. Well, these two corgis, the manager left, and that was her clients. So she asked for me because I was the new manager, whatever. And they were just baths. And then Mary used to carve a little heart on their tail. They'd be a little heart puff.
Sure.
And she made an appointment
Which should
for
be $20 more on top of the
absolutely.
$70 groom. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. Anyhow, she was just a nasty person. Also, she came in. I had two ancient boxers on two tables getting their nails trimmed, and they were just as feeble and precious as the day is long. Just a mask of beauty. And her dogs were horrifying, of course. So she busts in our small little lobby. And these dogs are trying to get out. Her dogs are just trying to get to these other dogs, and we're trying to get them harnessed up. I'm like, ma'am, could you please wait outside? She's like, well, I've never been asked to wait outside. And I'm like, these two dogs here are precious and ancient, and your dogs are very reactive. Please step outside. I always remain professional. Like I always do, but you will do as I say. You will do as I say. So she made an appointment a week before Christmas. So not Christmas Eve, but a week before Christmas. She no-showed. Fine, la la la. Well, she calls later that day, begs me, talks me into getting her in for just a bath on Christmas Eve. I said, number one, first, yes, it might be a little bit more because it's a holiday and you no-showed and da-da-da-da-da, right. So she comes waltzing in on Christmas Eve telling me, I need this trimmed, I need this trimmed, I need this done, and blah, blah. I said, no, ma'am. I said, we made this appointment for a bath only. She's like, she got this close to my face with her finger and went, oh, no. I have a party to go to, and these will be full grooms. Do you get me? Capiche? She was like that. And she's like, oh, and I really would like their tails scissored into a heart, but I suppose you're not capable of that, are you? She wouldn't let me get a word in edgewise. I took the leashes. She walked out the door. I gave him a really nice bath and de-shed, did not do the tails, and charged her full price. At the time of that salon, would be $65 a piece. That's what I charged. So then the owner, or the male comes, the male, her husband, the male in that situation, comes in. He's paying this money, and he's like, you're going to get a call from my wife. And I was like, I expect it. I expect it. You're not going to treat me that way. No. And I made concessions for you, and you had a no-show just a few days ago, a handful of days ago. She also wrote me a scathing, and it's still up. You could find them. You can find Coats and Tails and Coats and Tails. You'll find them under there. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. And she called me Captain Bligh because whatever I said, my workers did. And I'm like, that's how it works. That's how employees and managers work.
As
because she tried
to employees doing whatever,
whatever they want. Yeah. She tried to turn around and ask somebody else if they could do it or something. It's been a while, but it was something like that. She was horrifying. So yeah, I've had my fair share of weird, wacky clients and horrible reviews that mean zero. They literally mean zero. Don't even look at them. Don't even acknowledge that they're there. Leave it blank and empty. Who cares? They can have a conversation with themselves. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And they always tell on themselves. Oh, well, just because I forgot my appointment. Yeah, you're telling on yourself around Christmas time, right before Christmas.
Yeah.
Right. Run along, people. Trifling. You are unserious people.
Well, I had a woman who had nice dog, yucky owner. And she would harass and harangue my assistant. Well, I want a Wednesday. And she said, at the time, I had another commitment on Wednesdays. And Angie said, well, she's not here on Wednesdays. Well, I need a Wednesday. And she said, well, the other groomers aren't taking new clients right now.
Mm.
Well, so what am I supposed to do?
I love that. Whoa.
And Ange was like, well, I have these other dates that I can do instead. And she's like, well, I want this date. And Ange's like, well, that's Cat Bunny Day. So I'm afraid, we don't have that available because Cat Bunny Day, we're in the cat room doing cats and bunnies back to back. Well, that's not going to work for me. Okay. So she hands her the list of the other salons and says, I'm sure one of these would be able to accommodate you. Oh, no, that's not happening.
Oh, I bet you it is now. Look at her face. Look at her face.
So she's like, you go get me your boss right now because she's going to give me whatever I want.
Oh my gosh.
So Ange went back there. My salon is covered in cameras. Covered in cameras.
Mm.
And so Ange is like, she's like deer in the headlights. She's like, she's freaking out. She insists on talking to you because you're going to give her whatever she wants. And I'm like, she did not say that. And she's like, oh, she did. So I'm like, pull up the ring footage, push play. And I'm like, yep, we're done.
Yep.
Put the
Bye-bye.
phone down, walked up front. And I'm like, we are unable to accommodate your schedule. And I thank you very much for your past service. And I hope you have a fantastic day. I see Angie's already given you the list of the other grooming salons in the area. And I'm sure you'll have great luck with one of them. Have a nice day. And I turned around and she was like, don't you dare walk away from me.
Excuse me.
Oh, no, I'm coming right back.
Slowly I turn. Step by step.
I'll be right there. I turned right around and I walked right up to her and I said, no one speaks to my staff like they are less than.
Yeah.
The second you did that, I am no longer willing to accommodate anything about you.
And more yelling at me isn't going to help.
And I said, and as much as I don't care how you treat me, everything you said to my assistant matters to me greatly. I didn't say anything. And I smiled. And Ange had already taken the dog off my table and put that one in a crate. She hands me my phone. I pull up the Ring camera and I hit play and I just held it. She went, turned around and walked out the door.
She had no other choice.
Well, you can't say you didn't say that. It's right there.
And Mercedes, it's fine if you just got your first bad review. And if she told on herself, it's great. You just need practice. And there is a fine line between compassion and sticking up for yourself. I get that. It just takes a little bit of practice, a little bit of experience. By the third bad review, you're going to be an old professional at this. Don't sweat it. Like literally let it go. If she told on herself, expect to get 2 or 3 more cat clients. And that's really all it is. They want the ones that are compassionate and they can read between the lines because they're cat people. So I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah. And you're going to get bad reviews. If you look at those people's Google reviews, they never leave positive reviews. They go on Google and they tank whatever business that didn't give them the nose up the bum service. And okay, so Mercedes says she's mad because she referred her severely pelted 18-year-old skinny cat to a vet groomer. That is not an unrealistic thing to do. I have been grooming cats for 32 years, and there have been many 18-year-old cats that I have said, no, I'm not doing this. You need to go to a veterinarian.
No, you
to-
fairly had compassion for her cat. You
She
didn't
said,
unfairly fire her. you
yeah,
you
no,
fairly had compassion for her cat.
yeah.
Literally. That's what you
So
did.
it's in the best interest of your cat, who may have a heart attack, on my
Yes.
table because they're 18 years old and their little old heart is weak. And
They're
grooming
just
can be very
delicate.
stressful for some cats, especially if they're not in the best condition. Like this one was severely pelted.
Hmm.
I'm not doing that. I'm not
Right.
killing your cat to make you happy.
Yeah,
Just
run
because
along.
you don't understand what's at risk here, I do. I understand exactly what's at risk here,
Hmm.
and you don't get it. And I have had some people that have given me bad reviews over the years, and they're all like the woman that brought her dog in, and um, it went after Angie in the front room.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling us this.
And so then we got it in the back, and Andrew was putting the muzzle on, and before she could get the muzzle on it, the dog, it bit her right here in the
Right in the
meaty part
meat.
of the hand. And so I said, all right, go up front and clean that up. So she's bleeding all over the front room. And once the muzzle was on, the dog was fine. I did the nails, everything was great. I brought the dog back out, and she said, oh, I want to make an appointment for a groom. And I said, no, I'm sorry. I don't I don't have space to take you. And I'm not accepting haircut clients or aggressive pets right now.
Right.
My dog's not aggressive. And I was like, it bit my
I
assistant.
have a pool of blood here in my room here.
There's
That makes
literally
a
like
differ.
on the white floor, there is a trail of red, like that goes out the half door and around and she's standing there
Yeah.
while Angie is
That's just where
pouring.
you drag the body. Everything's fine.
Yeah. And like I had to pick up the dog over the trail of blood
Oh my
so that
gosh.
she wouldn't get it on her feet. And
Mm.
I'm like, and she flipped out. Are you serious? You're not taking me? And I'm like, no, I'm not taking you. That's ridiculous. And then she threw the $20 at Angie. She's like, here. And I'm like,
Wow.
do you expect I'll take you now? And then she wrote up that review. And I was like, oh, good. That's excellent. I'm now going to call animal control and have them quarantine your dog for the bite.
Exactly.
And I did.
Exactly.
And she said she didn't, it was a nip. And so then I put the pictures of the holes of Angie's, I put a link to the picture of the holes in Angie's hand directly under that. I was like,
With no text.
just a
That's a
link.
chef's kiss.
Like, here's the holes in my assistant's hand. Link.
Ah,
And it's
dang.
just like
Chomp.
holes, bloody
Right.
holes. Nip. It was the nip. Call whatever the hell you want. She's bleeding.
A nip
Yeah.
from Cerberus.
Yeah. Didn't say she was sorry. Didn't say no. And it's just like, you can rot. I don't, I
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got a 1-star Google review from her.
I'm sorry it was on your birthday, Mercedes. That does suck. But you know what?
Oh,
Buckle up, Buttercup, because there's more to come. These people are precious. Okay, they're precious, and that's how I choose to look at them. We're all doing the best we can, and sometimes you just see those NPCs glitch a little bit, and that's really all it is.
well, the animal control officer in the town where this woman lived happens to be a very dear friend of mine. Back in the day, we worked together when we were in other areas. And so, oh no, that dog got quarantined because I called her. I'm like, hey. She's like, oh my God, how's it going? And I was like, I was wondering. So this happened, and this is the name and the address, and because we have intake forms. And I know the dog does have a current valid rabies because it's required to be in my salon. So, and she's like, oh, I'm on it. And she's like, I've had dealings with this woman before.
Oh
She's like,
no.
this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna take one of the guys. And I'm like, enjoy. She's like, have a great day. I know I'm gonna. I'm like, okay, bye. So yes, I got a Facebook message from her later, and she's like, you made my day, Ange. So I don't know what happened,
Right.
but whatever it was, it must have been interesting.
Mhm.
So, but
Yeah,
yeah, I reported the bite, as you do when a dog has bitten.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah, you have to report the bite.
yes.
Yeah.
You are supposed to legally report the bite.
Right.
And
So it
you're
wasn't
doing it
like
not just for
forbidden.
you and not just for where you're working and not even for the owner. You're actually forming a record for that dog if it goes to any other salon. If you just say, oh, no, I won't report it, that's all right, and your thumb's half fallen off and you miss weeks worth of work or whatever,
Mm.
you're not doing any other groomer any favors, especially yourself.
Yep.
So every time you do get bitten, you have to report it. It
Yeah.
forms a bite record for that dog that follows it wherever it goes.
Mm-hmm. So,
Now,
you know,
now, Angie, I have a legal question for you.
okay.
When someone is yelling at you and they shake their finger like right in your face, like it's in your face, if
Uh-huh.
you were to lick it, is that technically assault or just a little gross but possibly worth it?
Okay.
It's battery. It's battery.
It is battery.
It is battery.
It is technically battery.
Technically battery. Okay.
But that's
But what
hilarious.
you can do rather than actually lick it is miss. So they're doing this, and you go, and you're like, "Ah." So that would not be battery because you haven't actually touched them.
But would it
But
be
you can
assault because
allude
now
to the fact.
they're in fear of you touching them?
You were in my personal space, and that was my defensive reaction, and I didn't actually touch you.
If you're so close to me and I stick my tongue out and you're so close that I can touch you with my tongue, that's too close.
Right. Anybody's going to be like, wait,
Holy cow.
because tongues, unless you're Gene Simmons,
Right.
tongues are only so long.
You're
Okay.
right. Yes.
That man has something going on with himself. I don't know. But your tongue only.
But I mean, that's how close they were. No, no.
Yeah. So you could actually go,
Ugh.
and they'd be like, "Ah."
Ew.
Yeah.
No,
You know?
Do the
Which,
ice cream
I mean,
slurpee
quite
thing.
frankly, that would freak anybody out. If
That would
somebody came at me going, I'd be like,
I would lose my shit.
and you don't want
How
to
many
be bit
people are going to
either.
now walk
So-
up to Angie at a trade show and be like, Angie,
Like, what the hell? I will caution you. Do not surprise me.
Yeah, no doubt.
Do not surprise me. It many years ago.
oh no.
Now you've done it.
I accidentally broke someone's nose
Mhm.
because they surprised me.
I'm like that too because I flail.
See, I don't flail. I had an older brother. I grab shirts and I punch you in the face.
Oh no, I flail and,
And-
I'll break your bone. Like I'm like that.
Yeah, because it's just reactionary. And I don't even realize it's happening
Right.
until I'm like,
It's muscle memory.
oh crap, you're bleeding.
Mhm.
I'm
Sorry.
sorry, I'm sorry. And I go right for the face because I grew up with an older brother that used to think it was so much fun to scare the ever living crap out of me.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, as Mercedes says, I got trauma, I punch.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. So, the first thing I will do is grab you by the shirt. And then I'm going to pull your head in and then I'm going to knock your head off your shoulders.
Absolutely.
Because before I even know what's happening. And it is a trauma response.
Mhm.
Which doesn't really justify punching someone in the face, but if you scare the crap out of me,
Yeah, you get punched in the face. I have a heart condition. I can't be scared half to death for no reason. That's not funny. It's not funny.
So, I you're warned. You've been warned, Chris. That's all I
That's
gotta tell
right.
you.
I'll hurt
So,
you without even meaning to because you scared me. That's what you got coming.
unless you're looking for a rhinoplasty,
Yeah.
um,
As we digressed, though,
yes,
I would like to say dealing with clients professionally, seriously, people, if you just try to keep your cool, like I know you're all freaked out inside and all the hormones are going and the adrenaline and all the whatever. I know that. But if you could focus down and be soft and quiet, but strong, just stay calm, handle it logically like a robot, literally that carries the day. It really carries the day. And if you can be nice to them at the same time, it pisses them off more.
and for some people, and for
Yeah.
other people that just want to argue,
Mhm.
shut up.
Yeah, you just got to cut them out and just shut it down. Don't participate in something that's just cyclical.
You can't argue with someone that's not speaking. And I have done this to customers over the years that wanted their doodle in a 3-inch long haircut, and it hadn't been groomed in 6 months, and it was pelted to the skin. And I'm just like, sorry, that's not a service I provide.
Mhm.
So I understand if you want to take it to another salon or go home and brush it. But
Mhm.
today, the only option that I have available is, since it is pelted to the skin, is to shave the dog down.
Mhm.
And you're saying that's not something you'd like. So I thank you very much for,
That's really all you have to say, and it's over. Like it's done,
yeah,
done.
thank you
There
for
will be
coming
no
in.
transaction here.
Yep. Thank you for coming in. And I don't give those people the list of grooming salons.
Mhm.
Your hair looks great today, by the way, Chris. Um,
I know you're all breezy, beautiful cover girl.
yeah. And so
It's actually down.
while they
Mhm.
bark and I just stand there.
Mhm.
Aren't you going to say something? And I said, I've already said everything that needs to be said.
Yeah, have a nice day.
And then they go, fine then.
Or you could do the
And
Willy
they
Wonka. Good day, ma'am. Good day, sir.
yes, good day,
I
sir.
said good day.
Good day.
I said good day. That's right. Make sure you spit a little bit and it'll be great.
Yeah. And so yeah, there's nothing to say.
Yeah.
And then they go, and then they go and leave.
Yeah, don't participate in whatever it is they're bringing.
Yeah.
They're trying to pull you in. They're
Mhm.
trying to draw you in so that you could be all messed up like them. Don't participate. Oh, I don't play that game. Sorry. Because I got dogs to do and I have a life over here.
So
All righty then. That's my
Um,
piece.
so yeah, I mean, remaining professional is easier when you've had enough bad clients where you're just like, oh, you're one of those.
Mhm.
And I'll give you a fun tip. Okay, so what we do is we have the computer program, but we also have index cards.
Mhm.
And I bought the cutest little sparkly smiley faces stickers.
Mhm.
And when the owner is one of those people, they get a smiley sticker
On their person or on their.
on their card. So every time you pull that card, you're like, oh, okay, she's one of those. And then if they see the card, they see a
A
sparkly
smiley
smiley
face.
face.
Like, oh, they must love me. They love me there. They
Yeah.
love me. I'm their favorite client.
Yeah. And so weirdly, that actually happened is because as we're checking out the dogs, I put, whatever the clip cut was. And okay, so this particular dog was a Pomeranian, And so shaped,
Mhm.
thinning shears. And I put that all in the card and the price, and I hand it to Angie. She checks out the dog, and she had it on top of their little drawers the index
Mhm.
cards go in, and she had it there, and she was putting it in square, and she's like, "Oh, that's a pretty little sticker." And Angie's like, "Yeah, we put that on for some customers." And I, she's like, "Oh, that's so cute. I love pink."
We
And
put it on for some
some
customers.
customers. And she's like, "I love pink." She tipped me $20. Now, I have been grooming that dog for like 4 years. She never tipped me. She tipped me $20. And she has tipped me $20. And she now brings like Dunkin' Donuts,
Oh, for heaven's
Munchkins.
sake. It turned her into a better client. That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, we have a color code system on Pawfinity. We use Pawfinity. And we do all kinds of stuff with it.
Yeah,
We don't really have a lot of bad clients anymore because we weed them out. We just won't put up with them. We don't invite them back.
I tend to
Yeah.
price them out. If you're irritating me, you're gradually just going to go up. Like every second groom is another $10 and another $10 until
Like, we can't afford this. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
I understand. Due to the cost of prices increasing,
Right.
I've had to raise my prices,
Mhm.
and I understand. And I thank you very much for your past service, and I hope you find someone that does all the things.
Oh, we freed up a spot for someone who can afford us. That's
Yeah.
okay. I'll see you later. I would never say that. I would never say that.
Out loud.
But it's fun to think about.
Yeah, you don't think it though in like a big neon sign.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately, my face
We'll say it.
says everything that's in my brain,
Yeah.
which is why Angie is the one that checks out with the customers, because I will put on the card, sore front right foot bite, bites on nails, meaning it's never happened before.
Mhm.
So what? And then Ange will say, so he's tried to bite on the front right foot. Is there something going on that you're aware of?
Mhm.
Nothing was mentioned at intake. Didn't seem sore at the time, but now when she was doing nails, there seems to be some soreness or something. So here's your vet ref card. And then the owner's like, "Oh yeah, well, she fell off the couch and she was limping for like 3 days."
Thanks for saying something.
I wouldn't need to know that or anything.
Not at all. Oh, I do want to tell you the story. I have to tell you the story. It's the very first day that I started at the surgical and diagnostic center, right? And I'm supposed to be established in this nice department, and everything is like going good. It's my first day of actual grooming dogs for these people who had never had a groomer in their huge vet facility ever before, right? A dog comes in, it's just a bath. It's some kind of a, I don't know, a smooth pointer, something. I forget, but I just remember the coloring of the dog. And of course, it's a vet office as well. So they have, what's the name of those large that they use for treats? They're to clean the teeth.
Oh,
Anyway, they could,
Like
no,
kind
it's
of
a
like
food.
weenies?
It's also a food. It's a prescription food. Anyway, it helps to clean the tartar off the teeth. So they have a big one, a bigger one, and a little tiny one, right? Well, Patty, a receptionist at the time, she made all the dogs love her. No, it's a Hill's prescription diet food.
Yeah.
But she made all the dogs love her because she would give them treats all the time, except for the diabetic patients. But I mean, everybody got treats from her because they love to come into the vet because it's like going to the bank and you get a sucker, right? So we groom all the dogs, blah, blah. And I bring the dog up and he's limping. Well, these people don't know me. Obviously, I've cut off an entire pad off the dog's foot. She gets up so fast, her chair crashes against the wall, falls to the floor. I'm going to get a doctor like that. And I said, well, let's look at the foot. I pick it up, and one of the large treats was just nestled inside all the toe pads. It was the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Problem solved. That would be another $50 for
Right,
diagnostic
$300, please.
I I have miraculously cured limping by those big, what are those things from the trees? They're like big spiky balls.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
by getting that out from between the paw pads, and by doing the nails when it was a little dog and the nails were like throwing up gang signs.
Yeah.
They were so long.
Yeah.
And
Oh my God. Hi, Katie.
and I did the nails, and she's like, "Oh my God, the vet didn't know why he was limping. You're
What on earth?
amazing."
That vet needs to be fired. That needs to go in front of a board somewhere.
You know what? She lied on the vet, just like people lie on groomers.
That's
Yes.
true. She probably never even went to that vet.
Who knows?
Very likely.
Just
Yeah. Poor things.
So the food is the TD.
TD. That's it. That's it right there. Yes. TD. Yeah. You knew what I was talking about. But
Amy
yeah,
did.
it was just
I did.
nestled.
Amy did.
Yeah, it was nestled. It was hilarious. And I was like, oh my God, I've hurt this dog. First day, fired, done. You know, after all the contracts were signed, after all the things we went through to make this thing happen.
No.
You know, I've killed a dog. First day, bye.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah,
So-
that's what happens. It happens, you know, and you just have to have a sense of humor about it and stay calm when all this stuff goes down. And then you freak out after it's all done and you can be in private. And then you can be all You
I
absolutely
love that though. Just lifted the foot up.
yeah.
Took the
And
tree
everybody,
out.
the whole thing, everybody's so worried. Oh, the groomer done hurt my dog. First day she was here. This was a terrible idea. Oh,
Yeah.
well, no.
Do you want to eat it?
Yeah, I was like,
Take
he
it
was
out of
just
your
saving it for later.
Because depending upon the dog, I had a pointer, so I know
Uh,
he would have been like, "Hey, that's still good."
Where'd that come
Ah.
from? Right.
Well,
I knew I
was thinking that for later.
Yeah.
well, I don't think he was aware that he lost it. Like it's just like, ow, my foot hurts. Oh, a treat. That's great.
Hey, I did that. Yeah, because pointer. I mean, it's a hound,
Yeah.
and they're basically a belly with eyeballs.
They're really dope to dope. That's just
Yeah.
who they are. Yeah.
And
Okay.
although I have to admit, my boy, we did a lot of training together. And so when I was in law enforcement, he would go to work with me and he had certain things that he would do. But we'd be in training and I'd be like, left. And he would stop, look up at me like, and I'm like, right. And he'd be like, "Huh."
Gosh, you're dumb.
The dog knew better than I did.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just like, oh my God. And the trainer would die
Uh-huh.
because we're doing these like pretty, it's a scent work kind of thing. And
Mhm.
we're going through these small spaces and you have to have really good control over the dog to funnel them in so that you're, narrow.
Right. Mhm.
And so there's no passage to go left. There's only a passage to go right.
Mhm.
And he's looking up at me like, really? Really?
Mhm. I don't think that's right. I don't think you spell it like that, Mom.
Yeah. And I'm like, I mean, right. And he's like, oh, okay. And then he would just go, and I'm just like, oh my God.
You want to hear
Guys, hear about this. I'm
um,
never going to live it down.
before we have to go because it's 45 minutes. You want to hear a quick derp to derp treat story?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so at the time we had a Shar-Pei mix and really more than one Pomeranian, but one is involved in this story. And we were giving them cookies for whatever reason. I forget. And they got more than we intended to give them because this was one of the funniest things we'd ever seen. So we'd give the Shar-Pei mix his cookie first, and he would take it and put it in the corner behind him to save it for later and then come back for another cookie. Meanwhile, the
Makes
Pomeranian
perfect sense.
because he got a smaller one, gobbled his cookie, went behind the Shar-Pei mix, and ate his cookie.
Mhm.
So then we'd give the Shar-Pei mix another cookie, and he would turn around, go,
Mhm.
I could
Where
have
is
sworn
my cookie?
I could have sworn, oh, okay. Dropped his cookie to
Came
save
back
it,
for
came back with the cookie. Tam, do you remember how many times this happened?
You mean in the one setting?
Yes.
It was somewhere from 3 to 5.
It was like at least 5 times
Like, I
in a
think at some
row.
point he caught Rory doing it.
Like, yeah. He eventually, the Pom eventually got caught red snouted.
Oops.
But I just, and honestly, we just kept giving him treats because I was like, I want to see how long.
Mhm.
It takes.
Let's let this play out.
Yeah.
Before this all works itself out. Yeah.
Let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens. But
That's
was
adorable.
awesome.
That's pretty
That's
adorable.
hysterical.
We
Well,
were good kids.
thanks for coming, guys. I hope you have a fantastic night. And remember, stay safe out there. And the holidays are coming. Change
Oh
your
my
blade
gosh.
drives and change your hinges. Do it. And if
Yes.
you don't have any on hand, order them now and do it as soon as they come in so that your clipper doesn't go
In the middle of the rush.
Yeah. You don't need it. You don't need to deal with that. It's easy peasy. There are videos on YouTube on how to change it out for every clipper you may have. So
Yep.
order them now. And order it from a reputable site. Don't order it off
Right.
Amazon because half of those are knockoffs. Order it from an actual grooming site.
Mhm.
So, all right. Good night, everyone.
Night.